Hello dear friends, you are on the channel Quotes of Great Men. Enjoy watching. The self is our life's goal, for it is the completest expression of that fateful combination we call individuality. What happens in the life of Christ happens always and everywhere. In the Christian archetype, all lives of this kind are prefigured. The angels are a strange genus. They are precisely what they are and cannot be anything else. They are in themselves soulless beings who represent nothing but the thoughts and intuitions of their Lord. In the products of the unconscious we discover mandala symbols, that is, circular and quaternity figures which express wholeness, and whenever we wish to express wholeness, we employ just such figures. A true symbol appears only when there's a need to express what thought cannot think or what is only divined or felt. Thank God I'm not a Jungian. Colors express the main psychic functions of man. Space flights are merely an escape, a fleeing away from oneself, because it is easier to go to Mars or to the moon than it is to penetrate one's own being. The shadow is a moral problem that challenges the whole ego personality, for no one can become conscious of the shadow without considerable moral effort. We are convinced that certain people have all the bad qualities we do not know in ourselves. We can hardly escape the feeling that the unconscious process moves spiral-wise around a center, gradually getting closer, while the characteristics of the center grow more and more distinct. Life is teleology par excellence. It is the intrinsic striving towards a goal. And the living organism is a system of directed aims which seek to fulfill themselves. So they speak soothingly about progress and the greatest possible happiness, forgetting that happiness is itself poison if the measure of suffering has not been fulfilled. Primitive superstition lies just below the surface of even the most tough-minded individuals, and it is precisely those who most fight against it who are the first to succumb to its suggestive effects. The cinema, like the detective story, makes it possible to experience without danger all the excitement, passion and desirousness which must be repressed in a humanitarian ordering of life. We do not feel as if we were producing the dreams, it is rather as if the dreams came to us. They are not subject to our control but obey their own laws. What you call knowledge is an attempt to impose something comprehensible on life. The person who looks outward dreams, the person who looks inward awakens. 4. In order to turn the individual into a function of the state, his dependence on anything beside the state must be taken from him. The symbols of the self arise from the depths of the body. That which compels us to create a substitute for ourselves is not the external lack of objects, but our incapacity to lovingly include a thing outside of ourselves. Liverpool is the pool of life, it makes to live. Observance of customs and laws can very easily be a cloak for a lie so subtle that our fellow human beings are unable to detect it. St. Thomas is really a great man quite apart from his saintliness. At times I feel as if I am spread out over the landscape and inside things, and in myself living in every tree, in the plashing of the waves, in the clouds and the animals that come and go, in the procession of the seasons. Whereas I formerly believed it to be my bounden duty to call other persons to order, I now admit that I need calling to order myself. The seat of faith, however, is not consciousness but spontaneous religious experience, which brings the individual's faith into immediate relation with God. The psychiatrist knows only too well how each of us becomes the helpless but not pitiable victim of his own sentiments. Sentimentality is the superstructure erected upon brutality. The greatest and most important problems of life are all fundamentally insoluble. They can never be solved, but only outgrown. My work as a psychoanalyst is to help patients recover their lost wholeness and to strengthen the psyche so it can resist future dismemberment. Without playing with fantasy, no creative work has yet come into being. Had I left those images hidden in the emotions, I might have been torn to pieces by them. Psychiatrists classify a person as neurotic if he suffers from his problems in living, and a psychotic if he makes others suffer. Creative powers can just as easily turn out to be destructive. It rests solely with the moral personality whether they apply themselves to good things or to bad. And if this is lacking, no teacher can supply it or take its place. The wrong we have done, thought, or intended will wreak its vengeance on our souls. All my writings may be considered tasks imposed from within. Their source was a fateful compulsion. What I wrote were things that assailed me from within myself. I permitted the spirit that moved me to speak out. If you watch to the end, I am very grateful to you. Watch also these videos.